Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Martin Gressett, and today I'm going to be giving my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw, 23rd of January 2017. We kick off the show with Roman Reigns in the ring with the shot case that Jericho will be locked in above the ring at Royal Rumble. He said there'll be over 40,000 people in the Alamo Dome this Sunday, but Jericho will be locked in the cage, so he'd face Kevin Owens one-on-one, which means he will hold the Universal Championship over his head. The fans were not impressed with that statement, I'm going to be honest. They booed the hell out of it. And I can see why, because nobody likes him. That brought out Owens and Jericho. Owens asked if Roman was okay because he sounded delusional, but remembered powerbombing Reigns through the table last week. Owens said Reigns has been doing this to various superstars for years, but how many people can say they single-handedly powerbombed Reigns through the table? The answer is one, and it's Owens. Reigns said Owens was the one who was about to get whipped in front of the whole world and his best friend. Jericho said since Reigns was in the mood to make predictions, he had one for Reigns. He was a stupid idiot. Jericho said Reigns thought it was funny that he was going to be hanging from the rafters of the Alamo Dome on Sunday. He thought it was funny when he beat Reigns for the US Championship 2 weeks ago. Jericho threatened to knock Reigns' teeth down his throat like chiclets. Reigns asked, did that mean Jericho was giving him a rematch? He challenged Jericho to a rematch for the US Championship tonight. Please don't name when. Owens said Reigns could have his rematch, which Jericho wasn't happy with. Owens said he had a psychic vision that Reigns was the one who was going to be the one locked in a cage tonight. Reigns said he had a feeling that he was the one walking out with the Universal Championship on Sunday because he was something that Owens would never be, the guy. And that guy sucks. The opening segment weren't bad. Typical promo stuff from the three people, but it served its purpose. It weren't bad. I feel like this is going to be a statement through the entire show. Then Cesaro and Sheamus will be defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in the Royal Rumble pre-show match on Sunday with two referees because of the controversy. What is that on the pre-show? There's one thing I'm trying to get. Well, it's going to be a 2-hour pre-show and 4 or 5 hour show, so I'd like to fill up the main show, not the pre-show, but what are you going to do? Then we have our first match, Luke Gallows versus Cesaro. Anderson clotheslined Cesaro outside the ring when the referee wasn't looking. Sheamus checked Anderson to the back. Sheamus returned to ringside where Gallows shoved him. After Cesaro kicked Gallows to the floor, Sheamus clotheslined Gallows when the referee wasn't looking. Cesaro put Gallows in the sharpshooter. Anderson kicked around back to ringside and nailed Sheamus from behind with a drop kick. Anderson tried to get into the ring while Gallows tapped. Gallows jumped Cesaro from behind and pinned him with a fireman's carry flapjack. Alright match. I can't wait for that tag team match. Please let the club win them. Please. That's just me. I want them to win them. Then we see Mick Foley talking with Stephanie McMahon over the phone. Stephanie was absent again this week. She was wondering why Mick allowed Reigns his rematch against Jericho, but Foley said it was a good idea. Sami Zayn walked in and wondered when he could announce himself in the Royal Rumble. Foley started to tell him he could announce him anytime he wants, but Stephanie chirped in and said he would have to defeat Seth Rollins tonight in order to get into the Royal Rumble. After saying that, Foley picked up the handset on the phone so only he could hear what Stephanie was saying. Stephanie ordered him to tell Rollins something, which Foley didn't agree with. It was a nice segment. Stephanie's looking like the monster heel, Sami Zayn's looking like the underdog, and Mick Foley's looking like the babbling dad Mick Foley, which is weird, but what are you going to do? Then we go to Corey Graves with a sit-down interview with Bayley regarding her match with Charlotte. When asked to describe her match with Charlotte in one word, it was wow. She said that she was always dreamt of winning the Women's Championship. It still gives her goosebumps to think she started wrestling in some arenas across the Bay Area. She didn't understand why Charlotte was using her long-time WWE fan against her. When asked what it feels like to be a role model, she said she's just Bayley. She remembers being a fan reaching out to touch the hand of a star. She was the crowd makes her feel like she can do anything. She said a lot of people don't think she can beat Charlotte, but she isn't Charlotte, but she does have 2 victories over Charlotte. Another great interview from Bayley. It's adding some more character depth to it, and I do like Bayley, so it is really nice. Rollins was backstage when Foley approached him. Foley informed him about the match against Sami Zayn. When Rollins asked why, Foley said that Stephanie wanted Zayn to qualify for the Royal Rumble. Foley said if Zayn wins tonight, he won't just get a spot in the Royal Rumble, he will get Seth Rollins' spot in the Rumble. Rollins said he was going to go out there and beat Zayn tonight so he can throw it right back in Stephanie and her coward husband's face. I liked it. It was a good promo. Typical Seth Rollins. He's a great talker. Then we go to that match. Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins. Zayn came back with an exploded suplex into the corner and went for an Aluva kick, but Rollins rolled out the ring. Zayn went onto the apron and hit an Aluva kick, but Rollins kicked him and hit him with a pedigree on the apron. Seth Rollins was set to pin Zayn when Triple H's music hit. Rollins was distracted thinking Triple H was coming out, but he never did. Rollins turned around and Zayn pinned him with a small package in an excellent match. Rollins was first and stormed to the back while Zayn was so beat up he could barely celebrate. Okay, this match was one of the best Raw matches I've seen in a very, very long time. It was pay-per-view quality match, this one was. I enjoyed it from start to finish. The Triple H thing made sense, and that was kind of a nice way to get Zayn in the Rumble. I give it that. And then Rollins is going to be annoyed and something's going to happen. Who knows? But that's definitely setting up for the WrestleMania, which I do like. Then Rollins was backstage and wanted to know where Triple H was, but he was greeted by Foley, who said he knew nothing. Foley said Stephanie may have been in touch with somebody in production, but Rollins said whoever is responsible took away something he has been building for a year for. Wow. Again, pretty much standard Rollins stuff, so it's always good. Then we had match 3, a cruiserweight match. Mustafa Ali, Jack Gallagher and TJ Perkins versus Drew Gulak, Daivari and Tony Nese. This was pretty much a showcase for Mustafa Ali, who got a pre-match video package. Standard stuff, it was pretty good. And then he pinned Drew Gulak with an inverse 450 splash, which was nice. The match wasn't too long, it was like 3.5 minutes, but I enjoyed it, to be fair. Cruiserweight stuff's always good. A shame nobody else seems to agree with me there because of 205's live numbers. Then the New Year come out. Xavier Woods started talking when Enzo and Big Cass came out. Cass said this Sunday he is going to Stallion in 87 because he's throwing 29 bodies over the top. Of all the movies to choose from, Rusev and Jinder Mahal show up. Rusev wondered why Cass and Big E need to put Big in front of their names. Crowd chanted USA. Rusev said he understood they're big, but it's like putting hands on me in front of his name. Rusev announced he was in the Royal Rumble. Then Titus O'Neil walked down and said he wasn't in the Rumble. Big E said last week O'Neil promised to never annoy them again. Woods said it's disrespectful and go on then, chance, and catch me outside. Go ahead. Crowd for that. Woods wanted to go outside. O'Neil said he was informed that there's going to be the 8-man tag with Enzo, Cass and Nunu against all 4 of us. Woods said, is one of them Lana? The crowd pop for Lana potentially wrestling, to be fair. Woods wants to know who the 4th person was, and it was Braun Strowman, which made no sense. But we have that match. It was pretty much basic squash stuff from Strowman. Strowman tagged himself in and stared down Amore, who was back in the corner. He fired up the crowd and then probably got more by the clothesline. He made a brief comeback and jumped off the 7th rope, but Strowman caught him and pinned him with an Oklahoma Stampede. So that was an alright match, to be fair. It didn't really do anything for any guy inside the match apart from Braun, which seemed to be doing it. Nothing with that normally. Afterwards, the Big Show walked out with new pyro, and he has abs for the first time in his 22-year career. You should see the picture on social media. It's insane. Show and Strowman have a very long stare down, with each man daring the other one to make the first move. Strowman back through the ropes and left, saying he did what he wants when he wants. Standard Strowman stuff. Nice to see the Big Show back, which is hopefully going to be rolled for his Shaq match. Afterwards, when Cole, Graves and Saxon was doing their weekly WWE Network plug, Show walked over and said hello to the announcers for some random reason. And then Cole mentioned the Big Show was big. Because, yeah, why not? Then we have match 5, Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho. Jericho tried to do a code breaker, but Reigns caught him for a Liger Bomb. Owens left the commentary table and ran in just as Reigns connected with the Superman punch. And then obviously he hit him, so Chris Jericho got disqualified, but he still retains. Owens called for the shark cage to be lowered. Roman threw Reigns in the cage as Owens tried to find the key to lock the cage. Reigns grabbed Jericho by the head and slammed him into the cage door. As Reigns escaped, he threw Owens into the cage. Reigns put Owens in the cage, locked the door. Jericho hung onto the cage trying to pull Owens down. He was carried a few feet in the air until Reigns gave him a Superman punch. Owens wound up suspended mid-air as Reigns laughed. Reigns gave Jericho a spear. That was an alright bit. I enjoyed it, to be fair. It definitely showcases the shark cage, which is just about selling a toy. WWE, you get really bad with your plugging stuff. And then Owens finally got down from the cage and started arguing with Jericho. The shit interviewer came out and told Owens that not only will Owens face Reigns for the Universal Champion with Jericho suspended the ring in the shark cage, but it'll be a no DQ match. And Incentives Owens said the match should be cancelled. I enjoyed that bit, apart from the shit interviewer appearing. What are you gonna do? Then we have Charlotte doing her own sit-down interview with Graves. She said one of her earliest childhood memories was watching her father defeat 29 other competitors to win the WWE Championship and the Royal Rumble. She said this Sunday was another chance for her to surpass her father's legacy. Charlotte admitted to growing up privileged, but she was the greatest athlete, male or female, than anyone in this company has ever seen. Charlotte said she never meant to embarrass Bayley. She wanted to show the WWE what they were getting behind. Charlotte took offense to Bayley thinking she was in the same league with her. Charlotte interrupts Graves' final question and says when she walked into the building on Sunday, every eye in the building would be on her. She would beat Bayley, and when she's over, she'll look down at Bayley when she cries, and her legacy will live on. Typical Charlotte heel promo. It was good, to be fair. Then we had Nia Jax versus Ray Lynn. Basically another either NXT or local talent. I don't know which one. This lasted like 30 seconds. Nia Jax ragdolled her in the corner and pinned her after an old Yokozuna Banzai drop. Very fitting tribute to her uncle. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. And then she interviewer started doing an interview with Jax, who told her to go away. Jax dedicated her victory to the recently deceased creator of Sasha Banks. 1 month ago, Banks was on Raw Women's Championship and as she's disappeared, she said ESPN should be doing a 30 on 30 on Banks' career. Banks came out on crutches and she used crutches to hit Jax in the leg. She used her crutches 5 times before it broke. Jax barely sold it and charged at Banks, who moved and Jax fell on the floor. Banks jumped off the apron and hit Jax with another one of the attack, then walked off. Again, Banks will be on the pre-show, which they're calling the pre-game show, which is weird. Shawn Michaels will also return on the 20th anniversary and he'll be on the pre-show. And so will Jerry the King Lawler, which is very interesting. I can't wait to watch that. Then we have another match, our last match, a main event for matches here. Rich Swann versus Noam Dar in a non-title match. Alicia Fox is now accompanying Noam Dar. Rich Swann teased doing a flip on Dar, but he hit behind Fox. She didn't act victimised like a Miss Elizabeth when Randy Savage did that spot in the 80s. She just told Swann to get back. Swann pinned Dar with a rich kick. Post-match, Swann challenged Neville to come out. He said he was the king of the cruiserweights, but to him he was nothing but a jester. Neville charged out and started getting in the ring and then left. Swann wouldn't let him get away that easily and did a something, and I don't know, sorry, my notes, did a toop on Swann and put his fist to him. I don't know, sorry. That note's a bit messed up there. Something happened, basically. I don't know. I wasn't actually paying that much attention. Cedric Alexander faces Neville on Tour 5 Live tomorrow. Alexander did an interview with the shit interviewer about that subject, saying that he's looking at it as a chance to prove himself. Fox and Dar interrupt. Fox screams at Alexander, saying he'll never be anything without her. Alexander said if she's really a big help to Dar, who said he stole Alexander's girlfriend. He asked if everything was good between them. Alexander wasn't concerned about losing Fox as much as he was upset about Dar jumping him last week, so he pushed Dar down. Fox yelled at Alexander about how he almost hurt Dar. It was a alright segment again, to be fair. I did enjoy it. And then we had Goldberg come out to close the show. He headbutted the locker room door before his entrance so hard he got hard blood from his forehead. He kept screwing up his scripted lines and had to start over 3 times. He said he would stop at nothing to get the Universal Championship. If he had to spin jackhammer 29 other guys, that's what he was going to do. He started to tell the other 29 guys that they were next when Paul Heyman came out. Heyman said, being the marketing wizard that he is, he should rename the Royal Rumble, imagine the possibilities. He brought up Goldberg possibly facing Randy Orton, Strowman, The Undertaker against Brock Lesnar, whose music played. Fans were happy, and they were also happy to see Goldberg. Lesnar came out live and in living colours. Heyman held him back on the ramp. Heyman said the object of Goldberg's demise was for him. This Sunday, Goldberg will be beaten, conquered, victimised, and thrown over the top rope by Lesnar. But Goldberg wanted to know if Lesnar was going to come to the ring or sit there like a dumbass. Lesnar went to ringside with Heyman in tow. He stalked around the ring for a lap, stepped through the ropes, and the two stared at each other. Then the Undertaker's music plays, the lights went out, and the Undertaker was in the ring staring at both of them. Goldberg and Lesnar looked uncertain as the Undertaker's blue light dimmed on them, and the show ended. And that was a great ending to Raw. The Undertaker got the biggest pop I have seen in Raw recent history, to be fair. It was great. I love stare downs, I'm going to be honest. This was a great way to end the show, and I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in the Royal Rumble. For me, there is no clear winner on what's going to happen in this Rumble, and I love that unknown aspect of what's going to go on. It was been an alright Raw. It's basically just here's everything for the Royal Rumble thing. It was a standard Raw, to be fair. Weren't too bad, weren't too good. Just average, to be fair. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you have. Subscribe to see more content, and I'll catch you later.